welcome back to the Mike Murphy Show. This is episode 4. We got a special guest. You've seen him on Def Comedy Jam, Comedy Central, NBC's Last Comic Standing, and he's also an actor and writer on CBS's The Neighborhood. My guest today is Malik S.
What's up, brother? What's up?
Going on, man? How you feeling?
Good, man. I'm feeling good, feeling healthy.
That's always good, right?
Yeah, man. Hey, health is wealth, man.
You still working out? I seen you, you know what I mean?
I just left to do an MRI on my shoulder.
Oh,
so
for real?
I'm working out, but not like I need to. I can't lift heavy. I'm lifting girl weights right now.
Hey, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, I'm doing something.
So I start out the show the same way. I tell the guests how I meet. I tell the people how I meet the guests.
Right.
So I don't remember the first time we ever met in person,
Right.
but I had been following you for a while and didn't even know it was you because the way you end your set, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna give it away, but I seen that on Chocolate Sunday's page and I'm like, yo, this nigga funny as hell. And this is before I even moved out here. So one day I'm like coming to the comedy show and I couldn't find it. I was like going back trying to find the set.
Right.
I was like, all right, whatever. So one day I'm in the thing and you on stage and you ended like I was like, oh, that's homie right there. And it's like I went to the roster to see your name. I was like, went right back like, oh, I'm already following him and shit. So we bumped into each other a couple of times in the Laugh Factory. I think we did a show, D-Ray show one time together. Yeah. And but I just seen you around. So he's like, you know, you reached out. I was like, yeah, let's make this happen or whatever.
Hey man, I like the show. I was like, you know,
I appreciate that.
I'm off right now. I'm just making the rounds, man.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, man. Just the podcasts are cool.
I think they're good because you get to see
right.
Like you can't go on stage and be like, well, let me tell you about myself. You're like, nah, where the jokes at? They don't want to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you the youngest of 7 kids, right?
Yeah.
And grew up in Miami, Florida?
Miami, Florida, Dade County 305.
Now,
the most popular area code ever is 305.
Yeah, everybody know 305. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
But that's dope. So I did my research. You went to college, got a degree, bachelor's degree.
Got a bachelor's
in Florida, right?
Yeah.
And then you went on to teach high school.
Taught the high school and middle school for a brief, quick second.
So was you even doing comedy before that?
Yeah.
Oh, you was
doing comedy when I started teaching.
Okay.
So then it was kind of like you know, like you gotta make a decision, dude. You can't do both.
Yeah.
You know, so comedy won.
So like I said, I know you got a lot of siblings and you grew up in 305. That's not the best area, you know what I mean? So was it hard to like stay away from some of the stuff that you see going on in the neighborhood and stuff to stay on that path? It's
crazy because honestly, for me, it wasn't.
Oh yeah.
Even though it was right there, I always been blessed with 2 gifts. I'm comedy and I don't really do peer pressure.
Oh yeah.
So
that's like just confidence.
It was just like I was always still a cool, fun kid. But I just, when, you know, all my group of friends, they doing that, I'm good. I'm still there, but I don't want the joint. I don't want to.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to go to class, but I'm going to catch up with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I would skip every now and then, have some fun.
But not no wild shit.
I'm enough to finish school, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it never was like a big deal to me. Even like around where I grew up in Opelika, which is dope. You know what I'm saying? Everybody selling dope. And you know, as a kid, you want to be cool. Yeah. But I just ain't never want to be that corner dude. I was like, how I just start up at being the man?
Let's give me a whole key.
Like how
let me get a bird.
I don't want to be out here in front of the store for 5-6 hours. How I get to be the dude that gave it to you?
Yeah. Just meet once a week when the shipment come in.
I was like, nah, this look lame to me. So I never did that. So I was like, if I can't start at the top, then I'm not selling drugs.
And I think for like us being funny, that gets you a pass on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Because you could be not funny and they be peer pressuring you like, nah, they be like, man, you just a lame.
You're right.
But if you making people laugh, that can get you out of getting beat up. A bunch of stuff.
They keep you around.
And they'll be like, nah, he cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a funny man. You know what I mean? So that make it easy to not give in.
So I always had a pass because I was funny, dude. Even though I didn't know I was funny at that time. I was just being myself. Just being me. It wasn't until way later after high school, you start seeing your friends again later on in passing. People be like, man, you was always funny. And I was like, for real? I thought I was just, you know, we was just all just kicking it. Yeah. Because everybody laughing. Yeah. But you don't know that you're the funniest. Because we are just joking, having a good time.
You're just in the moment.
Yeah.
You're not analyzing it.
Right.
It's like, I could do this.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm the one that's really being funny. Thought we all were being funny.
Yeah.
You know, so I never even looked at it like that till way later on in life. I was like, oh, okay, well, everybody can't be lying.
So what made you want to do the comedy?
I want to
was this that stuff?
Nah, I want to see Kings of Comedy.
Oh, for real.
When they first started, it was me and my best friend, and we both was kind of like not doing nothing, just kind of like going through life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We went to see the Kings of Comedy, and
you in college at the time?
I think I was in college. Yeah, I might have not even been,
because that came out like I think like 2000.
Well, we went
2000,
in 2000.
Yeah.
We went in 99.
99, yeah.
We went in December 99.
Okay.
So we go down there. We didn't even have no tickets. We was just going to check out the chicks or
whatever.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Parking lot.
Yeah. But a dude he was selling tickets. So we bought 2 tickets, went in. I'd never been to a comedy show. I didn't even know people did comedy like in real life. I thought you just did it on TV.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how most people think.
Yeah. I didn't know that. Oh, wait, people do this like all the time. Like, so we go see the show. It was Sid, Bernie, and Steve Harvey, and we went to go see it, and them killed, man. The energy was in there was crazy. So Steve was closing that night. And, as a comedian, some nights just don't be your best night. You know what I'm saying? So Steve still did his thing. He's Steve Harvey, but the energy just wasn't the same as Sid and as Bernie.
Yeah.
So my friend was like, my best friend was like, man, you funny, you funny as him.
Yeah.
He's like, you could do this. I was like, nah, man, you crazy, man. He's like, dude, you could do that. You funny as him. And then he tells me he's gonna join the military. I'm like, where this come from? Like, what military? We weren't that. We were street dudes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, man, I ain't doing that with my life. I'm gonna join the military. I'm gonna try to play football. I was like, wow, okay. So Steve performing though this whole time.
Oh, this is while it's going on.
Yeah. While
so he definitely ain't killing like he.
I mean, he's killing, but at this point now, we just talking now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and you gotta mind you at that time we a little. I'm much younger
than your friend, or
no, than Steve.
Oh,
at this point, I'm a kid almost kind of.
Yeah.
So his material is a little adult.
Oh yeah. You're not relating to it.
So now we really kind of tuned out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't even so much that he was a killer. It was just that Said them was more fun. Bernie had the voice.
Yeah.
So we like
that was like unrelatable. Like I don't really get what he talking about.
Yeah. So he talked about a lot of grown up stuff. So we kind of tuned out. I'm like 20 at this time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we started talking. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna join the military. I was like, well, if you join the military, I'm gonna try to stand up. and then
seems fair.
Yeah. He signed up, and in February 2002, I went on stage and tried it, and now he's actually been in the military a total of 23. It'll be 23 when he retires. He has 14 months left, but I think 2 years he did like reserve, so those count.
They measure him differently,
right? So, but in 14 months he'll been on retired in the military 23 years.
Oh, that's dope.
So he went to the military.
Let's give it up for your mans in the military. I was in the Army.
Yeah,
I did 5 years, and then I did 4 in the reserves.
Yeah,
so I know how that is. You know what I mean?
So now he's about to get full pension, full retirement, and it all came from that one conversation.
And y'all both succeeding at what y'all want to do.
We both, had Steve killed that night, like, or kept our attention, I don't know what my life would have been.
If Bernie closed,
it
might not even that conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Probably wouldn't be that conversation. I'd probably be a teacher still.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So I read it said you got on Comic View 6 months after you started.
Yeah.
So do you think, I know for comics and for the people out there, I think it's easier when you have life experience to get on stage opposed to someone's like 17 or 18 trying to try. What the fuck you gonna talk about? You know what I'm saying? Do you think that helped that you was in college? And
well, I had a son too.
Oh, early.
I had a son early. So I think I was like 21. Yeah, but if I told you I remember my set, I'd be lying. I don't know what the hell I was talking about. They called me, and I said, this is how old this was. I submitted my VHS tape.
Damn, that's crazy.
And I gotta, call ID. I'm looking at 818 number. Like, what? Comedy View.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool. I only had 5 minutes, but they only did.
They only give you 5 minutes.
So it worked out. I did my little 5.
You was on it for what, 5 straight seasons, 4 straight seasons?
I think I did like 5 straight seasons.
Yeah, I think I said it was fast.
I think something like that. Yeah, I did like 5. So then I did Bad Boys of Comedy. That was cool.
Yeah, I seen that.
Did all the, back in the day when they used to have all the stand-up shows. They don't really do that no more,
Do
man.
you think it was easier back then to get on them kind of shows than it is now? Because I think now it's like they got so much stuff.
Well, I think now, back then it was, are you funny?
Yeah.
Now it's like how many followers you got.
Yo,
you know what I'm saying?
That's exactly how
Back then it was just like, oh, this dude is funny. Yeah. Let's break him out.
Because they build around your talent, not around your popularity.
Exactly.
The same with, I mean, music, everything. Yeah. This dude got 400,000 followers. We can just take him. He already built this buzz.
Right.
And a lot of people don't know, like, I don't need you now. I got what you was going to give me. Yeah. If you found a dude who was like, nobody knew him, he's like, yo, he's nice. Right. We're going to put the machine behind him and put him out there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now you don't need that. They want the prepackaged deal.
Yeah. That's why I feel like a lot of entertainment is watered down.
Yeah.
Too, because it's like you can get popular, but that don't make you really
not good.
That good though, you know, because I mean, I feel like people follow foolishness and it don't cost nothing to follow nobody.
No, it don't.
So it don't really, the followers don't 100% translate to ass and seats or eyeballs like in a movie or a sitcom. You know what I'm saying? Because you follow somebody, you do that.
Man, Ryan Davis said he thinks that everyone should be only allowed to follow 100 people, and then you would be choosing more selective who. Right. You have to really be like, no, this dude ain't.
You got to
follow him.
You got to really care.
Yeah, let me follow Malik because he talk. Then it would be like, oh, you would see who was who. Right. If you can only pick 100.
And then I can respect that because that's somebody who has a lot of followers saying that.
Yeah.
So I really respect that he would say that.
But you know, he respects this craft though.
He does.
A lot of people, and I had Lonnie on her last week, and she was saying, like, she was asking, I was like, some of these people that blew up from Instagram first and then try comedy.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say all of them. Some of them took the time to really learn it. But the rest of them, they like, this is a bag I could get. I could sell out a comedy club, 5, 6 shows every weekend, walk away, whatever the deal they got, and they keep doing it. You know what I'm saying?
I can't even be mad at them.
No, it's like, why? If that's gonna change your whole life,
I can't.
Why? You think somebody gonna be like, well, no, I'm not as good at it, so I'm not gonna do it.
I'd rather they do that than be out here robbing people.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So you know what I mean? Social media to me is like, it's the gift and the curse because it's feeding families.
Yeah, for real.
So I love that, but then it's watering down a lot of crafts and entertainment.
So it's like the business side of it is like, oh, okay, this is good.
Yeah.
But the artistry of it
is dying.
Like if you someone who really like, I really love this shit. You know what I mean? So when I see, and I used to say this, and I realized like, yo, this just must not be for me.
Right.
When I ain't really have no followers, like 4,000 followers, whatever, I would see people getting booked at the Laugh Factory every weekend, eating shit on stage. Not like, oh, he just had a bad setup. Like, I ain't never seen this person ever be funny.
Right.
Like, they're getting booked because when they put that name on the marquee, they sell tickets. And I got to respect that. And I used to be like, I hate the fact that they're getting booked just because they got followers. Yeah. And then when my followers went up, people start reaching out to me.
Like, okay,
and I'm like,
cool.
I'm gonna take it because I knew I could back it up on stage. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been going to the mics, putting in the work. I didn't start with Instagram. I started doing comedy first and then grew into that, used that as a tool. But I used to be hating that, like, man, they only getting booked. But then I'm like, yo, I respect it as a business owner.
But, I respect, if you got followers, man, kudos to you. Because, we've all veteran comics. We've tried it. Some of us get it. Some of us don't. I think that's a skill within itself.
Yeah, it's definitely a different talent.
Clearly, you got something that the people like, so I gotta respect that. You know what I mean? Like, I never take away anything from the social media comics or whatever. Just people having followers. Because say what you will, but somebody 200,000, 400,000, 2 million people like it.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I don't have that. So how can I? You know what I mean?
So let me ask you this, because I've seen you perform a ton of times.
Right.
You ain't never had, I never seen you have a bad set. Not saying you never had one, but since I've been out for 3 years, I see you kill everything. It don't matter a white audience, D-Ray's audience.
Right.
Every set, the crowd is laughing. Yeah. Do you feel that if it was your choice, would you rather be really good at that or decent but have the 1 million followers?
No, I'd rather be good at the craft.
See,
because I feel like at some point it's gonna catch up. It's all gonna equal itself out.
Cream rises to the top.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, if you consistent, man, somebody's gonna be like, that's the guy. You know what I'm saying? Or the right somebody's gonna repost.
Oh yeah.
And then that's how it goes. Like right now, if LeBron James reposted one of your clips, dude,
it's going crazy.
You're gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what happened with my first one. When I did a Timberland video. Funk Flex reposted it. Boom. And I woke up and had like 10,000 more followers. Like, what the I'm like, yo, this shit crazy. And he was talking to me in the comments like, yo, I'm like, oh, I'm interacting with him.
Right.
He followed me back. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. And I didn't expect it to go where it went.
Right.
Because I'll be honest, I had 3,600 followers in the beginning of November. And then now I'm at like 157. Wow. And it slowed down a lot in the last like 2 months. Crazy. I was getting like 3,000 a day.
See, that's
just
dope.
Waking up, just the wheels just spinning, refreshing it.
Yeah.
The number jumping. Like, I'm like, damn. And people like, yo, you funny. And I'm like, nah, but I need to use this to get on the road.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, the hardest thing is trying to find your thing on social media for me. And I think I don't know what my thing is. So I just kind of like, you post just to post. For me, I don't post to so much like I'm gonna blow up on social media. I just post because it's the thing.
You got like
it's entertainment.
It's the game.
Yeah, it's entertainment. I post something funny, but I don't really like dedicate myself to it like some people do because that's how they make their money. So you should do that. You know what I mean? Like if you make your money off social media, then you got to wake up and be like, I got to put in these hours, just like you did. You say you put in going to the mics and doing, working on your craft. So I think that's the same thing with social media. That's just not my thing. I would rather just be funny and be consistent and, because people blew up before social media.
Yeah.
So people still can blow up.
And like you're on a show right now y'all just got syndicated, right? Would you hit 100 episodes?
Syndicated now, yeah.
So back in the day, that's all you needed.
Yeah, back in the day, I'd have been super famous.
Super.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
even though I'm not a regular on there, just reoccurring, I still would have been famous.
Because guess what? Just like on Martin, bruh, man.
Yeah.
Everyone, if he was like, yo, I'm going to
exactly.
Everyone was like, yo, bruh, man's coming to the Improv. They're going.
Right.
Because now with social media, it dilutes the attention.
Exactly.
You got TikTok, you got every YouTube star, you got all this. Before it was like you had to watch the people on TV.
Dude, you only got so many hours in a day, but it's so much content. There's no way you could watch everything.
Nope.
It's hit shows on TV that me and you don't even know about.
All the time.
You'd be like, what?
I sat down one time and was like, what is this? And it was something people was like, yo, it's the 8th season. I'm like, 8th season?
Exactly. You be like, what?
Yeah. You got Netflix, Hulu, and they don't all show the same stuff.
It's too much.
It's like watering down the market.
I would say the days of a mega superstar is probably over. The days of a Beyonce and Drake and maybe in sports you probably can be that, maybe, but I feel like acting and music, you're gonna be famous, but you're gonna be famous in a pocket. I don't think there's no more Michael Jacksons.
Oh no.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just too much, the attention is too spread out for you to have everybody's attention.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like you'll be famous in this group, and you know what I mean? But just worldwide, like old, young, Indian, Spanish, black.
Especially if you're not one of those minority groups, like someone like Russel Peters. There's not a lot of Indian comedians. It's a couple of them.
Right.
So they get everyone knows, and then they don't get blacks and whites, but their community, they're the Michael Jackson of it because it's not a whole bunch of them.
I just feel like if you knew right now, like a young something, you can be killing. Like you could be like it was the dude, the soccer player. He got like
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, I never.
He got the most followers on Instagram.
The point, I never knew who he was.
Yeah, I just know the name. I mean, I know he's like
but the days of a Bob Marley.
Oh
yeah,
what
I'm saying I think those days are done.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
You know what I'm saying? It's too much.
You're taking your eyes too many different directions.
Yeah, like you could just say Bob Marley name. You might not even heard one of his songs, but you heard that name.
Yeah.
You know he's a Jamaican artist.
Yeah.
He's been dead for I don't know how long.
Since the 80s, I think.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like the days of Denzel is everybody know Denzel it's kind of like you're gonna have your pockets, which is fine, but I think that's what happens with so much going on, so many radio stations, so many podcasts, so many this. You know what I'm saying?
So even in comedy, like right now, like the big names, the Kevs, the Chappelle's, Chris Rock. I think once that wave goes out, but I think it'll be good because before, especially for black people, was just you had one or two that was
right.
Now you could have a bunch, even if you're not super big like that, where you're the one. You could eat so good off of being one of 20 or 30 or whatever.
Those guys was already famous, and then they just build. But I could be wrong, but to come be a Kev in 5 years now, to come follow Kev, I don't know how that's gonna happen because there's so much happening. Like I don't know if a new cat can fill an arena by himself. Ensemble, sure.
Yeah.
But just one guy, Kevin Hart, by himself, I think Kevin Hart is the last.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think once that is gone, it's not going to be.
It's going to be hard because it's too many eyeballs. Like I say, you could be super famous. Look, the movies that win the Oscars half the time, like, I ain't never heard of this damn.
Oh yeah, that's they'll be like in the winter areas, you'll be like,
I ain't never heard of this.
The Apple, what? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, and that's not a knock on them.
No, it's just
or me. It's just it's too much.
Too much.
It's too much. So like it's a gift and a curse, man. But we'll all still be doing our thing. You'll still be able to perform. I just feel like the mega rock star, especially in our community, because we only a small black people
12%, something like that. Yeah,
in America. So you know what I'm saying? Like you really gotta be able to tap into other countries.
Oh, for sure. Like, and you gotta have, and that's why like someone like Kev or Chappelle or Chris, they can get those arenas because they don't just have a black audience.
Right.
They have everyone. You know what I mean? You can't like, and I think Cat Williams is hilarious. And he does that, and he's like still not doing what they're doing because it's mostly black people.
It's mostly black.
Even though he's beyond talented, you know what I'm saying? It's just we don't have the numbers.
It's not global.
It's not global.
Kevin, Chris Rock, and Chappelle are global.
Global. You know what I mean?
I don't know if we're gonna see another global. I mean, you got Russell.
Yeah.
You know, Russell's a unique individual.
Yeah, he's like super hip hop Indian. It's like and
Russell's a good dude, dope dude. Took me to Egypt with him.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Man. We went to Cairo and we performed in Jordan. So that was crazy. And when I say we performed in Jordan, not like when a lot of comics that go overseas or out east.
Yeah.
They be like, I perform in Korea. But it'd be for the soldiers.
Oh yeah, the USO.
We performed in Jordan for the hey buddy, for those people, you know. So that was like, and I tell you, I have been doing comedy a long time. That was in 2021, I think. Yeah, 2021, December 2021, I think, or 2020. Yeah.
So yeah, like 21 years in,
dude. When I tell you that performing in Jordan is when I was like, oh, I'm good at this.
Yeah,
that's when I was just like, I can do this. All this time I've been doing it, I'm like, I'm cool. But when I was in Jordan in front of all those natives with that language barrier, with the Islam, you don't say you.
Oh yeah, you got to tread the line.
Killed. I was like, oh, they got me fucked up.
Dude, y'all got me fucked up. The price, yesterday's price ain't today's.
You know what I'm saying? I was just like, my confidence. I was like, yeah, I do this shit.
Yeah, that's dope shit, man. Congrats on that.
I do this shit. Then we went to Cairo. Cairo was a little, to me, easier because it's a little more Americanized.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But Jordan, dude.
That's different.
Yeah, man. So, but that was dope, you know, and Russell took me with him. He believed in me, and, you know, we went up there. We had a good time, man. And to see how that dude sells out in these crazy countries, it's like, yo, this dude is a rock star, man.
And then when you, like, I mean, you know him, but I met him a bunch of times at Laugh Factory. He's humble. Like, he don't seem like what he's, you know what I mean?
Right.
You talking, he's regular, and she's talking shit, fucking with everybody.
Right.
Like,
you'll never know.
Yeah, you're like, what the hell?
And then
like,
you look up, you're like, what? This dude just sold out arena in India? Or sold out arena in
I ain't never seen him with security, nothing. I always just seeing by himself. Got a fedora on her son, just shooting and shit. I'm like, damn, that's crazy.
Cool dude, man. Cool.
So you went with him. You toured with Cedric too.
Cedric too. I toured with I really toured with, I guess, just 3 comedians. I toured with DL, Cedric, and Russell for the most part.
So that got to be like a full circle moment going with DL and Ced, because the show that they were on, was DL on that show yet, or was it still Guy Tori on that?
No, DL wasn't on that first leg.
All right, so he was
Guy Tori. Yeah, this was the very first time.
Even with Ced, he was on the show, and now you like, I'm torn. Like,
what's crazy, him and it was DL and Ced, the first 2 Comic View hosts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it goes far back that way.
Oh, damn.
And I got on with Ced by way of DL.
Okay, because I was going to ask you how that came along.
DL was, I was doing a college in Miami, their homecoming, FIU. So the college booked DL, and they let a local promoter book the MC, which was me. So, you know, I go to the school, I'm doing my thing, and, you know, killing it. And DL's like, you know, he comes from backstage, like, who the fuck out there? So after
he could hear the
you can hear the laughter.
Rumble.
Like, well, who the hell they booked?
Yeah.
So after the show, he talking to me. He's like, man, you a funny young man, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you want to go out on the road? I was, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, what you think I'm doing this shit for?
That's when I end up having to quit my teaching job.
Oh, because
DL works every weekend.
Yeah.
So every Friday I was calling out. And then I ran out of sick days. And then I just had to make a decision like, yo, you know what I'm saying? What I did though, I took a leave. And then I got paid all the way to the end of the school year. So when August came around for school to start back up, I had to make a decision like, nah, I ain't going back. So that's how that happened. And then working with DL, we in Cleveland one time doing a show, and Ced was doing something for LeBron, some kind of benefit. So he comes to say hi to DL. And that when he walks in the club, I'm on stage. And then, you know, so he saw me. Then after the show, he was talking to DL. It's like, yo, young dude. Oh, that's my opener, man. You mind if I check him out too? You know, I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
Love,
shit. Yeah, man. Yeah. And then it was like probably like 6 months later, he called me out of nowhere to come do a show with him.
That's crazy.
And that's how I got on with him. Yeah.
Because Joe Coy told a story about he was performing, I think, in Vegas or somewhere in Nevada, and it was like like one of those Indian reservations or whatever, and he was opening for Ced. And he said he went out there and like murdered it and was like, yeah, Ced got to follow this shit.
Right.
Ced was like, yeah, you gonna make me earn this shit, baby.
Yeah.
Like that. Mubby said, went out there. He was like 5 seconds later, they forgot who the fuck I was. He was like, Ced's a beast. And then everybody, like, we talking in a Laugh Factory, like, oh, who's your Mount Rushmore, all this. And like you said earlier, so many comedians now, you start thinking, like, oh, I forgot about this person.
Yeah,
it's hard to narrow it down.
It's hard.
But a lot of people said, I seen Ced in person. And was like, oh, this is
Ced,
a different.
Ced is definitely a beast. He's definitely one of the GOATs. You know what I'm saying? Just his body of work.
Yeah.
You definitely got to throw his name up there. Ced's definitely, DL's definitely up there.
Yeah, they kill.
I mean, the thing about, I would say, you know, with DL and Ced, you know, it's like you can be sizzling hot. You know what I'm saying? People be sizzling hot and then they kind of die down. The thing about those two dudes, man, they just always been consistent. They had a 30-something plus career, consistent, just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, just doing their thing, never kind of dropped off, you know what I'm saying? And that's hard to do.
Yeah, you got to, I think you got to constantly pivot and stay, you know, you got to move with the times.
Yeah, because you got to think about it, throughout the years, been a lot of comics been hot and then kind of like,
and they get a residency in Vegas, and
you know, but
nobody hear from them again.
Those two been consistent at their thing, you know what I'm saying, doing their thing. You got to think like you got Chappelle, you got Chris Rock, you got Cedric, you got DL, and there's probably a couple more, but these are the people that's coming to my memory, my mind quick. They've been doing their thing for a long time. I mean, now Kevin's up there now too.
Yeah, you
know what I'm saying, even though he's much younger than them, but you got to put Kevin up there to like. I'm talking about probably, you know, 15, Kevin probably 15 years consistently hot.
Yeah.
You know, DL and Ced them 30 years consistently still being able to sell tickets. You know, Chris Rock and Chappelle. That's hard, man.
Hell, I mean, because of the way people are, it's like, what's the new thing?
Yeah.
Move over. And it's like, you got to be able to, yo, I got to do this. I got to pivot and do this.
Yeah.
And I think that the thing I asked Tony Rock this one time, I said, you think there's people that are too good to be features, but they can't headline, like they can't, not that they can't do it, like they got the material they can kill, they can't sell the tickets.
Yeah.
He's like, there's people I know
that's
that
mostly
are way too good to be features, but they'll never be touring as headliners.
That's most comics.
And I was like, man, I gotta be
me.
But I seen you gonna be in Tacoma in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I get dates here and there, but I'm not like booked up.
Yeah, like all year.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm in a unique position where like I would go out with Ced and DL and Russell, you know, and then sometimes I just have fun with people I like. Like sometimes I go out with Michael Blacksey. That's just my homie, and I host just to have some fun.
Yeah.
But I don't see me, I'm not gonna feature for nobody else.
Yeah. Like, let me just go with you.
No.
Because you hear like
I'm not gonna feature for nobody else because I don't want to put myself, I don't want to be seen
as a feature.
Yeah, I'd rather headline a hole in the wall than go feature for somebody. I mean, unless you getting with a Russell, you getting with a Kevin Hart.
That's a different.
You gotta do those shows because that's you know, promoting your own brand.
Yeah, for sure.
You being in front of 20,000 people,
exposed to his audience
to do that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, if Kevin called me, I'll be a fool not to take that. You know
hell
what I'm saying? Because 20,000 people gonna see me.
Yeah, that you got to, but certain
you got to do that.
That's just weighing the pros and the cons of it. It's like, don't want to go out with this dude.
Yeah.
And people looking like, oh, I seen you open up for him.
Right.
And to be honest, some of the people, like I use like I'm from Pittsburgh, the Improv that's like a white city. So when I look at the calendar throughout the year, there might be 15, maybe 16 weekends worth of black comic, right? The rest is all, white or other. So when I look at them comics that come there, I see them, I'm like, oh, you're as funny as them.
Right.
You're funnier than him.
Right.
It's like, that's kind of like, I'm not featuring for this dude. Because at the end of the night, you know what's going to happen? They're going to be like, you was way better than dude. Why ain't you? And then that makes it awkward because don't let that person hear it. Now they like.
To me, that'd be bull because at the same time, like, well, when I'm headlining, you ain't going to come.
Yeah, because they don't know you,
who
but
cares?
They say that they be like, yo, you was way funnier than
But let them put your name up there.
Why don't you come when I come? Then I give you 30 more minutes.
That's what
I give you the whole hour. You know what I'm saying?
When people tell me that, I'll be like, whatever, dude. That means nothing to me.
Yeah, if you ain't buying tickets,
come when I come then.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Show up when I show up. So especially for I think for black people, I've realized, and somebody told me this a long time ago. White people go to the comedy club to laugh,
to have fun.
Black people go to the comedy club based on who's there.
Yeah, so like, oh, so and so coming, we going.
That's the difference. That's why a lot of times you'll see a unknown white boy could headline a whole weekend and get multiple weekends because they just promoting the club.
Yeah.
When they got to promote us.
Yeah. And something like we said back, Ryan said this on Corey's podcast, Corey Holcomb. He said the problem is like we're only 12-13% of the population, right? So if there was a black person on social media that had 5 million followers, 6 million followers, like, and I mean urban, not just like any kind of black person, every black person that is in that demographic would know who that person is.
Right.
There's white people that got 20 million followers. You'd be like, who the fuck is that?
Right.
Like, because they have so much they can get a smaller percentage of their demographic and still do more than us having a large percentage. Because you gotta, like, I was only 13 of us. I gotta get 80% of the people in the city to come.
You gotta grab 10 of that 13.
Yeah, they like this motherfucker could do 0.5% and still sell out 6 shows in Ontario or whatever.
And their tickets be cheaper than ours too.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
See, I try to look at like when I see somebody going like, what are they selling the tickets for? And I try to gauge it.
If you ever look at the I don't know what it is, but I don't know if that's who knows, probably could be deeper. There might be some racism involved. I don't know, because it's like our tickets are way more.
Yeah.
Like you'll see a white celebrity comic and a black celebrity comic, and it's like it's not the same thing at all.
Oh, I thought it was just based on who you are, because I remember I did shows with Gary Owen as just like a guest spot.
They consider him black.
Yeah, no, but his tickets would be like 35. Yeah. D. Ray's 35, Michael Blackson's 35, Mike Epps like 40 sometimes.
Yeah.
I never looked at Sam Morril or somebody. Then you see that, I'm like, oh, this shit, $20. Like
the other ones, and then you'll see like, oh wow, they do charge more for black comedians.
Oh, see, I'm gonna look at that now because I thought it was just based on like how well you like what you charge.
I'm sure they don't mind.
No,
but I'm just trying to figure out where that come from. Like, is it because y'all think we more valuable, or is it some racism? I don't know. Yeah,
maybe like we'll give y'all a break. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at that now that you said it, because I thought it was just based on your status. You know what I'm saying?
Black comedians, like once you become a celebrity, at least they get more.
Okay.
Which I don't know why, but hey, I ain't mad at it, especially when I become a black celebrity comedian.
Listen, so I know you do comedy, and for anybody that doesn't know, dude, he's very hilarious. You got to check him out. But your pen game is amazing. You write on the neighborhood, and if I'm correct, you got a show that the Hilsons.
Yeah, I was developing a show. I sold a pilot to CBS. It didn't get made. How sometimes you sell an idea, you write it, but they don't shoot it.
You got paid.
Yeah, got paid. Yeah. I mean, that's part of the process. Just to sell is still a big deal.
Yeah, because a lot of people were sitting on scripts for 20 years. Yeah, they can't get picked up. So you got that talent. You're diverse. You make people laugh. You can write good, and you act. Yeah. So it's like in your career right now, like, are you happy with how it's going? Are you enjoying the moment, or you're like, I feel like I know you probably want more, but do you feel like I should be further along than where I'm at?
I'm a human being, so, you have days where you feel like you're not where you need to be or you should be. Yeah. And then you have days you wake up and you're very grateful for where you're at. So it's just one of those things. Some days I'm like, I'm amazed where I'm at, considering where I came from.
Yeah.
Then some days I'm amazed where I'm not. I'm like, yo, like, I should be, you know what I mean? Yeah, based like just off the talent, you like, but then being in this business this long and being able to feed my family, I'm like, it's business, you know what I'm saying? Like nobody cares about how funny you are. Can you put ass in seats?
Yeah.
So I don't never hold that against clubs or nothing like that. Like it makes sense. It's a business. If I own a comedy club, why would I want to book somebody that can't pack it out just because they're funny? Like that's cool.
You make 35 people laugh their ass off, but
right? That
bro, the drinks is low, everything is. They're like, nah, bro, I ain't got time for that.
Exactly. So I think once most comics get that understanding, then the bitterness and all that will go away because you'll be like, all right, that's true.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but no, I definitely want to be doing more. I definitely want to have my own TV show. I definitely want to headline my own tours. You know what I'm
your
saying?
own TV show, like you're the main, the lead on the.
I'm so cool. Like I don't have to be the lead, but I have to be a regular.
Oh yeah.
I have to be at least
top three on the
call sheet. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't have to be because like if I'm like even when the show I wrote, I wasn't the lead. Like I always when I'm writing it, if I don't feel like it makes sense, it's kind of like okay, I'm gonna play this because this is easier. It gives me opportunity to work on my craft, work on my acting, get my chops up. Next one, I'll be the lead. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let me sit back, let me watch. Because it's one thing to reoccur on the show, it's another thing to be a lead on the show.
Yeah, two different.
Games. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, let me be an officer coordinator and work my way up to head coach. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I don't mind not being the lead. I'd rather be the number 3 on a successful show for years than be number 1 on a 1-season failed show.
Yeah, because like I listened to Kevin Hart's book. He said his first show got canceled at the rollout. Like they was like, nah. Then they brought it back in, and then halfway through the season, he was like, I started looking like a failure because my movies got bootlegged.
Yeah,
this happened. He was like, they was looking at me like, we don't want to touch you. They didn't pick up the pilot he did with Judd Apatow. Like it was all that was going on. He was like, I'd rather be on something that's really taking off, but everything happens for a reason.
Because that year he had a pilot, they picked up Blackish and not his.
Oh, was it the one they was working on with David Arnold?
No, I forgot which one it was, but he had a pilot and they picked Blackish up instead because everybody thought it was gonna be his because Kevin Hart.
Yeah,
and they went with Blackish, but probably the best thing ever happened to him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? So you just sometimes when you don't get something, I don't trip about
it wasn't
what
for
I don't
you then.
Get. Yeah, I just be like, whatever, that wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying?
Once you can accept that, like if I don't get it, it wasn't meant for me.
Yeah,
it makes it a lot easier because sometimes, not even as artists, just as people, we take things personal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I did something foul to you, fucked you over, and you're like, why would he do that to me?
Right.
You have to learn, like, nah, he would have done that to him, right. Her. He just needed the opportunity. Once you take that away from it, you're like, it ain't personal. This is a fucked up person. Or this situation ain't work for me because I got something else coming.
Yep.
And like your career reminds me of like David Arnold's. He was good as hell all those years.
Yeah.
If you lived in LA and you seen him, you was like, yo, I mean, I wasn't here, but just from everybody telling, like, yo, he's a monster.
David.
He was writing for shows. He was doing a TV route.
Yeah.
And then he decided, nah, I want this shit. I want to be torn. Like, I don't want to be doing this. And so I'm hoping that the same thing happens for you because they'll see like, oh, this dude is where you been at? Where the hell you been doing comedy slide? Never heard of you. But like, I was writing and I was doing this, and it's like, this motherfucker funny as hell. Then you got 2 Netflix specials. Then it's just like it takes off. You know what I'm saying?
That was David, man. Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace.
That dude is an inspiration to people like me who's been doing it for a long time that feel like we still don't have that notoriety. And because I had a conversation with him, and I don't want to be cliche, before he passed, but we did. And I was like, dude, I told him, I was like, man, you give me inspiration that it still can happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
All it takes is one.
Yeah.
One yes.
Like, he was like, yeah, man. I was like, because he's way older than me, and it started happening for him. So I was like, yeah, man, you give us people like me who've been doing it for a while, you give us hope, man. And I appreciate what you're doing, and we love your work, And then, like, probably 2 weeks later.
Yeah, that's sad. Like, so he was, I don't know if you remember this, if he was there. So when he was shooting the documentary portion of the second Netflix special, he did a segment in the Laugh Factory. Ambria was there, Chris Spencer, they was filming it. And I remember just like standing back, like taking it all in, like, damn, I want this. Like he was a star. Right. You know what I'm saying? You see Kevin there before, you see all the, these big stars coming in, and everybody's like, oh, but he was walking around and it was just like, oh, it's his time. Yeah. And I was like, yo, what's the advice? Because when I met him, it was the 2021, right when LA started to open back up. He's pissing in the Laugh Factory bathroom, and I'm like, yo, I'm a big fan of yours, blah, blah. He's like, yeah, I'm about to go on the road. I'm like, yo, you got a feature? Like, I don't give a fuck. I'll ask. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm hungry. He might be like, nah, don't. Let me see what you got. Exactly. You never know. So I asked him. He's like, nah, I got a team. I was like, all right, I'm just trying to get on stages. He was like, yo, meet me at the Comedy Store. Introduce you to Nichelle. Right. To get her on your show. Yeah, we both from Cleveland. I'm like, all right, bet. So I went down there that day, and even before he got there, I got there early, and she put me up because Rel Battle was running late. Right. And I started the show after like 14 minutes. I'm doing good and shit, everything. I come off, and he's like, oh, this is the dude. Introduces me. She's like, oh, yeah, okay, it worked out. He was like, I got you, man. I'm like, all right. So he became like a mentor. Yeah, yeah. And then Chappelle ended up coming in that day and closing the show out that I started. I was like, oh, this is dope. Right. But just asking. And then when I asked him for some advice that day in the Laugh Factory, he said, gave me a bunch of advice that I heard before. I took it all in, but the one thing is like, work on your social media. He was like, because for me, none of this was happening until my video started taking off with my family. Yeah. And as soon as he had that, I wanted to be like, man, fuck that. I don't want to do the social media. Because I'm like you. I'm like, I don't want to be posting this shit. Right. Like, it wasn't until I found the thing that didn't feel like I was compromising who I was. Right. Like, I don't want to be doing no corny sketches and shit just to get attention. And
I think that's how you get the followers, when the people feel like it's authentic. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when you start just doing whatever,
anything,
and I think that's one of the problems I had. I tried this, I tried that, I tried this, and none of it really works. So it's kind of like, okay, once I find that thing that I do, it'll go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think, and you find your thing.
And he told me to
find his thing. His thing was his family, and his videos was hilarious.
And he didn't make it like cheesy. He was in there talking shit. Like,
it was hilarious.
You know what I mean? And he found it. I'm like, damn. And I had people like, yo, you got a family? Why don't you do like it? I was like, that ain't my thing. Like, I don't even interact with them like that. Right. So once I found mine, but that was his advice to me. Right. And then it was like the day he passed, he was going to Pittsburgh, I think 2 weeks later, and he was letting me go with him to do the show. Nice. And I bought my plane ticket, and I was like, yo, got my ticket, bro. I'm like, I can't wait, man, everything. And then he didn't respond back. He usually respond right away. And I'm waiting. And then later that night, I seen Takara posted. I'm like, no way. Yeah. And then they just start flooding the timeline. I just got emotional. I'm like, I didn't even care about the money. I had signed up for his comedy workshop he was doing, all that. I was like, I don't even care about that. I'm just sad that this dude that took the time to always reply back to me and give me gems is gone. But the one thing he left me with is like, I'm super thankful. He's like, work on your social media. And I took that and just ran with it, and it's working. So I'm like, damn, he was right. You know what I mean? So it's like I was appreciative of that, but it was definitely sad losing him because he was one of the good ones.
It's a tricky business because when people ask you for advice, like people ask me for advice, I just be like, I don't really know what to. Only thing I can say is like, stay on stage. That's
really the only thing you can say,
because it's like sometimes people think it's something that they don't know. Like, you're hiding. I'm like, dude, I don't, whatever I know, I'll tell you. Like, I don't have a handbook or a secret thing, All I could do is say, stay on stage, whatever is that thing you're doing, dedicate to it. Yeah. Miss the club, miss going out on that date, miss this, miss that, and put that time into whatever that thing is that you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So that would be my only advice to anybody. And I think that goes for anything.
Yeah, because all our paths are different.
Yeah.
Like, you've been doing this a lot longer than me. I could go crazy viral and be touring in a month. You got
more followers than me.
Yeah, and I could be, and I didn't for the longest. Like, it just happened. I could be touring in a month, and you be like, and it's like, damn,
that's your thing.
Everybody's path is different. So and Kev said that, he said, I guess he called Eddie Murphy. He was like, I give you non-advice is like, do what's worth, you stick with it. Like, but the thing you said is you can't go wrong with that. You can't go wrong with being on stage. You never know. Well, you could do a set at the Laugh Factory. Think I'm gonna just do the 15 minutes, then drop down to the Improv, and there'll be somebody in that chair watching them, be like, yo, can I talk to you? You got an agent? We got this going on. But I think you to fit. And you be like, oh shit. And now in one 15-minute set, your career is gone.
But not even that. It's also you in the gym. For when that big opportunity comes, you're ready. Yep. Because you've been in the gym, you've been working. So now when it's time to go to playoffs, when it's time to go do a showcase in front of the you
just dusting all. You like, I do this every week
because you've been doing your thing. You've been putting in that work, and again, that goes for singing, athlete, writer, doctor. Look at doctors. The worst person you want to date is a person in med school. You ain't gonna see them.
Never.
They had this in them books.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you date somebody that's in med school, just know 5-7 years it's gonna be tight.
Oh, for sure.
You gotta understand that it ain't gonna be all that. Let's go here, let's do this, let's do that. Because they, you know what I'm saying? And I think sometimes we gotta treat whatever passion we have like med school.
Yeah, like just you gotta. Well, listen, I moved out here December 30th of 2019. I went out for New Year's party. It was Hollywood shit. It was weird. I was like, this shit's crazy. Got my situation, my house situated, all that. I was going to the mics every night, the ha-ha. I was showing, I was buying tickets because no one knew me.
Right.
So, I wasn't like, I'm a comedian, I don't want to pay. I was paying to get in. Like, I didn't want to be the dude like, yo, who is you? Get out of here. So I was buying tickets every night, just putting in the work.
Right.
COVID just shut down the world.
Right.
And I was like, damn, I just got my feet under me. Like,
all over
and I'm like, and what I did was I had sold everything back home, my business, my house, everything. People was calling me crazy.
Right.
So I had money, but that was nothing to do with it because the world, I paid my rent in full. Couldn't just be like, let me just go back to Pittsburgh until this opened back up. Nah, I wrote a check for 20 grand to the place. Like I wanted to make sure I had a roof over my head for the whole first year I was here. I'm like, damn. But most people would have been like, man, I'm out. This is a sign. I was like, the weather's too nice. I'm going to the beach while everybody walk around in masks. I'm going to swim. I was just doing whatever to stay occupied. And then when the world opened back up, I just got right back to it. Didn't miss a beat. And I kind of think that, well, I don't say it helped me, but I don't regret nothing that happened because my career is going. Even before social media, I was getting opportunities with bigger names because of people I knew and just my relationships I developed. So I'm cool with that, but it was like, you just never know when a situation happened. I was putting in the work all the time. So when I would get that call, yo, you want to do time? Hell yeah, I'm ready. Yeah. Not like, oh shit, let me next time. Nah,
you gotta be
let's
ready.
Go. You know what I
mean? I know people say it all the time, but if you stay ready, you gotta get ready.
Always.
And that's just what it is, dog. You gotta be ready, man. That's the only advice I ever tell people, like if you want it, you gotta want it as bad as you want to breathe.
Yeah.
Because if somebody pinch your nose right now, you ain't just gonna sit there.
No, you're gonna get up out of there.
You're gonna scratch, you're gonna bite, you're gonna cry, you're gonna do whatever you gotta do to breathe.
Yeah.
And you gotta want it as bad as you. I used to have a barber. He passed away, man. And this was when I used to tell him, I'd be like, I want to do this and I want to do that. I want to do this. And I live by this now. He'd be like, no, you don't. I'd be like, yeah, I do. He's like, and then he'd be like, what'd you do about it? And I was just looking stupid.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't do nothing about it. How you want to do it? I want to do a podcast. Did you buy any equipment? Did you try to find a studio? What'd you do about it? You don't want it.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't want it. He's like, how bad you want it? And that's what I live by. How bad you want it. Because if you want it bad, you know what I'm saying?
You'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out. You know what I mean? You'll fail. If you want something bad, you'll fail.
Because failing is part of the equation of winning.
Failing means you trying.
Yeah, you can't win and I never failed. Everything always went right. No.
If you want something and you never failed at it, you don't want it because you never even failed yet. So you don't want it.
Hell no.
You know what I mean? So that's my thing. How bad you want it.
Yeah, for sure. So I don't know. You probably do remember this. A couple, like maybe a month or so ago, I sent you a message. I sent you a clip of somebody doing one of your jokes, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
remember who it was.
I do. I ain't gonna say it, but it was like verbatim.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, it's a similar thought. It was verbatim. Yeah. And it made me think because even before I sent you that, like maybe a year and a half ago, it was right around the time they passed they started banning abortions, whenever that was. And I remember you posted the joke that you had about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got the same exact joke.
Right.
Like, and I hit you like, y'all got the same. You're like, I've been doing it for years. I was like, nah, I ain't trying to say like you stole my joke. I'm just saying like, and I knew like he's way more known. I just scrapped the joke because I didn't want it to be like, yo, Malik do that joke. Where'd you get that from?
It happens, man.
It does, but but you have to be aware enough to be like, that's in this comedy thing.
Right.
If we both do that joke on stage, they're not gonna be like he took it off him.
But that happens with me with people bigger than me.
Yeah.
Because when you do thought provoking stuff, so if you the Chappelles and the people in that era, then it's like clearly I stole Chris Rock joke.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I ain't never even seen him do that joke, but it's just it comes with it, man.
Because we definitely have similar comedians have similar thought processes.
Yeah, people have similar thoughts, man. I mean, like, ain't nothing new under the sun.
But I'd rather get rid of the joke than be like, yo, you even if it didn't, because I had only seen I seen you a couple of times on clips. Right. I didn't know you. This was a joke I wrote 4 years ago.
Right.
Just a thought process because I was talking to a female about it. And then when I seen it, I was like, oh, that joke's out. Like I scrapped it because I'm like, I don't want to be that. But when I seen dude do it, immediately I'm like, see, that's why I'm glad I got rid of the joke I had because the way I felt listening to him tell that joke, I don't want nobody feeling that way about me. Like, and it wasn't even like that shit was verbatim. I was like, bruh.
You gotta one thing I tell you, dude, you can't even worry about that because that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's almost like this. When you get your joke stolen, that's a compliment.
Yeah.
Just take it as a compliment.
Lonnie posted something the other day on her story and it said, like, if a comedian feels like another comedian stole their joke, why don't they say anything to him about it?
Right.
And people like responded, like sometimes they just don't want the hassle or they don't want to seem like they're crying about it. And one dude was like, if your joke could be stolen, maybe it wasn't a good enough joke. And I'm like, no, that's not the same bullshit. Because everybody don't have stories that are like where this is my real life. Like you could make up something or you're talking about something current.
Right.
Anybody got that joke.
Exactly. So that I don't buy that. That's bull.
So I was like, I get it in the sense if it's like a unique joke about you, you know what I mean? But if you're talking about something this current event that's trending, some Trump or something, be like, bro, we all talking about the same thing. Like, COVID. You be like, oh, you wrote a COVID joke?
Right.
Like, well, we all did. You know what I mean?
Everybody
like
wrote a COVID joke.
So it's like you can't get it. Yeah, so I seen that, but like you said, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And it ain't like music where you can sue for copyright or nothing. You just gotta take the L.
It's almost like you pick your battles, dude.
Yeah.
You got like, cause it's almost like this. If a nobody steals your joke, he ain't gonna do nothing with it.
Nope.
If a big name steal your joke, it's gone.
Yeah, it's out.
so
and that's like, kind of saying about you. I'm like, oh, this dude is performing all week, every day almost. So
that's
I'm just pitching a joke, like it's gone. Like and it wasn't like, oh, this is the best joke ever. You know, when you write, you like, all right, that's cool. I'm pitching that.
That's how I look at it. Like, if a nobody steal my joke, all right, cool, dude. So I know you look up to me.
Yeah, and that's like
you admire me.
Flattering.
You know what I'm saying? And if big name steal my joke, okay, well, I see you admire me too, but I know I gotta scrap it because everybody gonna say I stole your joke.
And that's kind of a good I mean, not good because you're like, you stole my shit, but it lets you know, like, if
you good,
this dude is stealing my shit, I know what I'm doing is working.
So that's what I'm saying. You can't get caught up in that. And then even if somebody steal your shit, if you know that's true, is your joke, do your joke.
Yeah, just do it and just
do your joke, dude. Like if I really love my joke that I wrote, somebody still, I'm not gonna stop doing my shit.
Yeah,
because you kind of shit is that? You stole my joke.
Yeah, like, oh no. if it gets stolen, I'm definitely telling it. But if I see, oh, I'm doing a joke that's teetering the, you know what I mean? But what we was talking about on that was like, oh, that was so true about dudes. Like we would be in the gas, like because we're not the same as women. We be like, yo, I need this. Like, I'm out of here, bro. Like because we don't have the same thought process. So I was like, oh, the same thing. And I seen that. I was like, oh, and your joke was better than mine because mine was all the meat of it was the same, but I never really got around to like crafting it and polishing it. So I was like, oh, I don't care anyways. I never even got the joke to be.
You never fully developed
it, but it was the same.
Happens a lot.
I'm like, fuck it. So I definitely had no problem scrapping it. But once I seen him doing your joke, I was like, oh, this is what it looks like when you know what I mean? I'm like, no, I don't like that feeling at all.
I've had a lot of jokes stolen. It just comes with it, man. You can't fight everybody.
No, hell no.
What you gonna do? You know what I mean? And then even if they say they'll stop when they're in Ohio,
they're gonna do it.
You know,
so if guys can get abortion,
you're gonna fly out there. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, all right, whatever, man. You just gotta deliver it way better.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You gotta deliver it way better. So I don't really get caught up in the joke stealing. Like, there's a lot of joke thieves successful as hell.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know,
some people don't care.
No.
They'll say like, oh, I stole his joke.
But the audience don't even care. Because if they like you, they like you. They don't give a damn.
Nope. And then they'll defend you too.
Yeah.
So what if it was that good? You'd be like, oh,
did it better. He
did it better anyway. You like, bro, what? It's my joke. Yeah, but we like how he said it. You're like, that's just crazy.
So you just I'll let that go.
So we talked about this earlier. I don't know if this is the answer to the question, but so in your career, what do you think is your biggest accomplishment to the date? Now, I know you said Jordan was like I really do this, but that might not be your biggest accomplishment.
I don't know, man. I value everything, even the little things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I value all accomplishments, even as far as like, you know, coming out here and then like you say like a chocolate sundaes or even the other nights at the Laugh Factory.
Yeah.
It's small, but when I see them, they put me last.
Oh yeah.
I know why they put me last. So that's an accomplishment.
Yeah, that's dope. You're appreciating all the moments.
I'm saying. I value everything, you know what I mean? So you go from that to that little 15-minute spot, but when people like, nah, I don't want to go after him, you know what I'm saying? Like,
sure.
So it's not a big deal, but it's like, okay, cool, I'm doing something, you know what I mean? So I value that. And selling 2 TV shows is big.
Hell
it's a big deal.
Hell yeah.
Right. I mean, all of it. I just enjoyed the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? Because to me, it all still comes back together.
Yeah.
You know, it's like stand-up is the machine, it's the engine of the car for us. You know what I'm saying? Even with this podcast you have, stand-up is the engine that drives the podcast.
Like, and I'm using this to be able to garner an audience so I can go do that.
Right.
Like some people use stand-up to get in movies and be a star. I'm using all this stuff. I don't care if social media, podcasts. I want you to be like, yo, if I come to your city, you're gonna pull up because that's all I want to do. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. So for me, I just enjoy all of it, man. You know what I mean? Like, I think all of it is valuable because they all somehow connected.
Yeah.
You know, my stand-up has given me the opportunity to be on TV, be in movies, be in a movie with Eddie Murphy and Jonah Hill, you know what I'm saying? Because of my stand-up. You know,
and you was just in that the you people.
Yeah, I mean, it was small, but I was
I seen it. Look, bro, you know, I fuck with you crazy. I'm watching shit. I was like, oh, it's that nigga right there. I'm like, yo, he's in this shit.
So
I like that shit.
That stand-up, you know what I mean? So yeah, I guess if I had to value one the most, it'll be that my stand-up is getting better and better and evolving. You know, I'm to the point now where I want to be funny. I want to get the laughs, but I also want to say what I want to say.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at now. So that's when I realized, like, okay, now I'm doing real comedy because I'm being honest. I'm not just like, I'm going to get these cheap laughs.
Yeah, some people go for the low-hanging fruit every time. And sometimes some rooms, and you know this, you've been doing it longer than me. Some rooms, you can't go on with that Dave Chappelle shit. They don't want to think. They want to.
Exactly.
Say a dick joke, say a pussy joke. Like, that's what they want to hear.
You got to trick them and start with that, and
then weave it in there. And then you get them. You already pull them in, and then it's like,
that's like being a boxer. You know what I'm saying? Like, stand-up is like it's sparring, dude. You gotta know, like, okay, I ain't just gonna come out throwing hooks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you get them with what they like, and then you kind of just train them and lead them to, you know what I'm saying, what you really want to talk about. So that's one of the things I'm like, that's why I like people like Chappelle and, you know, and Chris Rock and, you know, just to name them, those two, but they talk about, it's not just jokes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They have a message. It's like this powerful. Some people don't like that because they're like, I just want to laugh. I don't want to hear this.
Right.
This civil rights shit or whatever. Yeah, but some people, some people just not intelligent enough to understand what they're saying.
And that's fine. That's the thing. That's why they have their audience.
Their audience, yeah.
And then if you like those type of comedians, you go see those. And it's enough for everybody.
So, that's a good point. So when you're in Hollywood, that's not your audience. That's just a audience. So do you find it sometimes harder, like different nights, like, oh, they're not feeling what I'm saying because this is not my audience, or it's like no matter what,
one thing I can say, it don't matter. I'm gonna do me.
That's why I see. Like I said earlier, I see you never had a bad night.
I'm always gonna do me.
But I know as a comedian, sometimes you may make it look easy, but inside you be like, damn, that was rough. I had to really dig because these motherfuckers, like we don't know sometimes.
Right.
Sometimes it sounds like if you don't see a comedian enough, you be like, damn, that motherfucker, he quick with it. And you're like, nah, that's part of. That's a joke that he wrote. It fits in with, it seems like he just thought about that. And the audience don't know. But he'd be like, I've seen this 15 times.
Right.
This is part of his set. You know what I mean?
You like, boom.
But it's so seamless that they think, oh, this motherfucker quick with it. Yeah. Like, so I just wonder that because I'm not at the point like where I see you, you know, you're always on these stages or whatever, and you go last most of the time. just like you say, you appreciate that. When I'm up in the rafters or I'm in the improv, I'm like, I can't wait till I'm just getting 15 minutes.
Right.
And that's why it's important to appreciate that, because I think back now and I remember thinking, just wanting to be on the Laugh Factory stage, I'd have been on there 20 times now.
Exactly.
And I'm like, I don't never take it for granted. Like, I remember when I was doing open mics here, waiting in that line for 5 hours. Now, Teron's like, yo, come do the show tonight. This, I'm like, oh, this is, so I appreciate all that.
That's what I'm saying. All that, you go from like, wow, I used to be here and now I'm here, and you're trying to get here, but you're like, wow, dude,
I'm not there.
I'm not here no more.
Facts.
Like, people call me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that feels good.
And
like, people respect you enough to be thinking, you know how many comics out here, and your name still came up. Like, that's, you know, like, a lot of people don't just take time to smell the roses and enjoy the small wins. Because you know what I'm saying? That's a win.
If you don't live in that, like, take the minute to enjoy that.
Yeah.
It don't matter. You'll be insatiable. You'll never appreciate anything.
Right.
You could drive a Benz right now, brand new.
Because
you're like, I want a Rolls Royce. And you can get that Rolls Royce tomorrow and you'll be like, nah, I want the bigger Rolls.
Yeah.
You'll never be like, let me just enjoy this motherfucker. Because these stars on the ceiling I ain't had that in the Benz. But no, some people don't learn how to do that.
Don't know how to just enjoy the moment and just appreciate where you was and where you are, dude. You know what I mean?
So, that's why you see like celebs like killing themselves and on drugs, because they're not even appreciating the life they have. It's hard to sometimes. I know mental health is like a thing, but it's like you're like, yo, you're a millionaire. You live in Malibu, all this, and you still like, you were like, damn, like what does it take to make you happy?
Well,
and he's like,
that's the one thing I did learn. You know, I mean, I'm not a rich man, but I have everything I need and want. But I remember there was a time I used to think, if I make this money, I'll be good.
Then you get that money.
If I make this money, I'll be good. If I get this, so it's like you just gotta learn to be good.
Yeah,
because there's no amount of money, like you say, the Malibu and millionaire, that don't necessarily bring peace and joy to your life. Sometimes it might make it harder, especially, you know, because some people are introverts and then you're a celebrity. That sucks.
I think if you're an introvert, I don't think you should even be doing nothing, because that's part of it. Like, you have to go to certain stuff, but like just requirement, just as
that sucks though.
Yeah.
If you're an introvert, like me, I consider myself to be somewhat of an introvert. I don't really like talk a lot, you know, especially if I don't know people, you know. So that's a thing I have to train myself to always
overcome.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, but some people, if it's really a big problem, for them, leaving the house is anxiety. You know what I'm saying?
That gotta suck, because I'm an extrovert. I'm like sometimes I gotta say, yo, just don't say
chill.
Nothing. Just chill. Because I'm like, yo, I go anywhere and I'm
make friends.
And just and I think that's why my career is starting to like go places, because I just gravitate to people naturally.
Right.
And I'm a cool dude. I'm like one of them corny dudes, but like, I don't trust that motherfucker. He's you know what I mean? I keep it real with everybody. But yeah, just having to like dial it back sometimes, but like, nah, let me just listen. Let me not say nothing.
Well, you know, they say you'll learn more listening than talking.
Yeah, and I gotta tell myself that, because I'll be like running my mouth. I'm like, yo, you ain't even listening to what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't. No, you didn't.
Now you was talking.
You be like, oh shit, okay. Or you don't pick up on the subtlety of it.
Right.
Because you just focus on something else. So
I'm more of a listener. I'm dude to just, you know what I'm saying? Sit that way. You know, when I came in, I'm like, oh man, they do. I'm letting you tell me, oh, this, that. Oh, okay, cool. I just like to listen and learn stuff, man, because, you know, the more you know.
I'd be surprised when I ask somebody something and they don't want to rush to be like, oh, so, because most people, I always heard, it's like, it started from the gym. Like you see like big swole dudes in the gym and people like, I don't want to ask them nothing. Right. They be the ones that can't wait to tell you everything they know.
Yeah, because they want to.
No. So you do it like, and most people are like that. They want to basically flex their. I can tell you everything, but some people will be like, oh, they look intimidating, so they don't want to ask them nothing. But most people can't wait to tell you.
The thing for me, I think, being kind of an introvert, I always assume everybody else is too, so I don't want to bother. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always assume like he probably just like me. He don't want to be bothered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like one of my friends out here. He from Miami too.
How long you been out here?
I've been out here since 2011.
Oh, okay.
He from Miami, and we was working out at the gym. We became friends in the gym. He's from Miami.
Yeah.
And he had knew me from there doing comedy. He had seen me.
But you didn't know him.
I didn't know him.
Yeah.
He's an actor. And I would just be in the gym, headphones, just doing my thing. Like I just kind of like just be doing my thing. It had been like almost a year. And finally one day he just came to me. He was like, "Hey man, what's up, man? I'm from Miami." "Oh, what's up, boy? You from Miami?" He was like, "Man, I want to say something, but you always look like you don't want to be fucked." Yes. And I'm like, really? Because I'm just kind of like just minding my business. Yeah.
And the gym ain't a place where you just smiling.
I'm just minding I'm not even mean mugging or nothing. Yeah. I'm just doing me. And he was just like, "Dude, you always just look like you don't want to be bothered, man." I was like, "I have been trying to speak to you for a while." And one day he just came, and then we've been cool. This is my boy now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And I'm just like, and I was like, damn, I gotta figure out what face I'll be making, because I don't want to turn people off, but I just be minding my business.
It's like that. Like sometimes, like I told you, I went up to David Arnold, just was like, "Yo, it's talking." So I ain't gonna say the comedian. I don't know if he was having a bad day, if this is his personality, and I just took it the wrong way. But so my stepmom and my dad, they had never seen me do comedy. And I told my dad, like, "Yo, you got to come see me." Blah, blah. He was like, "All right." Then he died in 2021.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, I saw good. So he died in 2020, never got to see me. So my stepmom, they had gave her a year to live because she had like some heart problems or whatever. So I asked, I see this comedian in the Laugh Factory. I'm like, "Yo, you going to be in the city where my mom is at?" Like, I tell him the story, like, "Can I get a guest spot? You ain't got to pay for me to get, no, I'll get my own way there. No, I don't need paid. I just want to do like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And he was like, "You know what I think?" I was like, "What?" He was like, "I think you need to do some more fucking shows before you ask me if you can get on my stage." I was like, "What?" And the nigga in me was like, "I'll knock you the fuck out. Like, I'll whoop, like, you can't whoop me." So I'm like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah. And that's too far out anyways." And just walked off. And I was like,
wow.
And I was like, word. And it wasn't like, you know, they say they don't meet your idols, because it wasn't somebody I idolized, and it was just somebody I seen on TV. I looked, I'm like, "Oh, this dude funny." And when he said that, I was like, and then the next like week and a half, he had like 3 other incidents that was like on film, like on tape, where him just being an asshole to people. And I was like, maybe that's just him, or maybe he's going through something right now.
Probably.
And then every time I see him now, he's like, "What up?" And I just keep walking, like, fuck out of here. Because in my mind, I'm like, you could have just been like, "I'll let you know," or "I can't, I'm booked," whatever. Saying that, he was like, I'm like, "Yo, my mom don't have that." Like, it ain't like I just wanted to do time with you. I'm like, "Yeah, I just want her to see me."
Right.
She don't got that much time left. You know what I mean? He was like, "I think you need to do more fucking shows." Like, that's not gonna keep her alive, bro. I gotta do 100 shows from now to then.
How you know how much shows you done?
He don't. You know what I mean? So it was like, it was one of them things like, oh, okay. And so for there, that made me like pull back on who people I talk to, because I'm like, I'm trying to make it in this industry now, but you ain't gonna just say no crazy shit like that. So I just kind of like, I gauge people's temperature first before I, you know what I mean? But no, that shit was.
I mean, it's a lot of assholes.
For sure. So I got a question for you. You always sit on a stool.
Right.
Did you start like that from the beginning?
Nah, hell no.
Because I ain't never seen you off the stool. I always see you.
I wasn't comfortable enough to be sitting
for real.
Down. Hell no, that's no. Like, even now, I sit on the stool sometimes, but when I feel like I really need to put in that work, I stand up.
Okay, I seen it. It's like every time just killing.
That's what I'm just like.
I'm like, "Damn, motherfucker killing."
Usually when I'm doing new stuff,
I'm
gonna stand up.
Oh, okay. See, for me, when I found like, when I need to relax, like if I'm too anxious, I gotta sit on a stool.
Right.
Because it helps me relax. Because I talk with, like, I'll be moving this hand a lot and doing this.
Right.
And so when I sit down, I never do that.
Right.
So I sit down. Then once I start, then I get up. And I'm like, all right, now I'm comfortable now. But I start doing it. But I wonder when I see him, like, yo, he's so relaxed. Because you'll see someone like Ryan Davis is another person. He don't really move on the stage. He stays kind of one. You know what I mean? Then you see people ripping and running. Kevin Tate is all over the stage. He's banging on shit. You're like, yo, and you wonder like how the crowd is. They're laughing at both comedians equally. And one is on 10. The other one is barely fucking moving.
You just gotta do you, man.
Yeah.
You'll find it. You know what I'm saying? You'll find it. It take a while.
I'm still trying to find it.
Some people find it quicker than others, but it take a minute to really like find your style, your voice, your cadence. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when you really just comfortable on stage.
When you was on Comic View, did you feel like you had it already, or you still just working?
I was on autopilot. I was just speaking fast, just not even waiting for the audience to finish
stepping
laughing
on your shit.
I'm on the next joke. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and I did that for years. And veteran comics would always tell me, like, dude, let them finish laughing.
Yeah.
You're already on the next joke. They still laughing. And I'd just be so scary and nervous. Just my whole thing was, let me just get it out.
Yeah, just I sometimes, even still now, like I realize the difference is like confidence. So when I was in Pittsburgh, everyone knew me because that's a small city. So
right.
even outside of comedy, I was me.
Right.
Everyone knew, you know what I mean? So when I went to comedy, I get on stage, I'm like, hey, I'm talking like I've been doing this shit for 20 years.
Right.
And I would always be doing, I never, you know, some people like, oh, my first couple times was bad. I never had a bad set. Like open mics, first time. They're like, there's no way this is your first time. I'm like, yeah, it's my first time. So I was like kind of like arrogant. I came out here like
cocky.
Whoa. And I seen dudes that was not even people that were like famous. Like I see someone like you killing.
Right.
I'm like, fuck.
I got
delete this shit. What the fuck was I thinking? Like, this is some bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, and I realized then it made me very like not insecure. I just didn't have the same confidence because I'm getting on these stage. I'm like, these people don't know me. They looking at me like, who's this? At home, I'm like, I know all these people. I'm in my this is lunch table material. And so the more I got better at writing and started getting shows where people were like, yo, can I get your picture? I was like, oh, okay, I'm good. Let me just had a confidence, and that made a world of a difference. So I'm kind of getting into it now, but it still was just like. Yeah, in the beginning out here it was rough because I was like, holy shit. Because
also the LA is in your head. I'm in LA.
Anybody who's in the audience.
Yeah, and ain't no damn body in the audience.
Ain't nobody. You know, everybody think that the HBO exec or something's in the audience. Like, we're looking for new talent.
That was the 90s, dude. We missed that boat. You know, we missed that boat. But yeah, because the audience is almost like, and you know, excuse my French, the audience is almost like dogs. They could sense that. They could feel the fear.
You're the second person I heard say that. Like they know that
they know you scared.
Yeah, if you don't delivering it with confidence,
they know you scared, dude. And once they see that you scared, they gonna jump on your ass.
Because that shit Corey Holcomb be saying, he's saying, but like, I don't give a fuck how y'all feel. And they be like, ha ha ha.
Right.
I said some shit one time a little bit, and they kind of looked at me, and I was like,
yeah.
And it was like, no, I don't do it again. Like,
you gotta sit on that shit.
You gotta be like, you heard what I said.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, okay, you're giving them a permission to laugh.
Yeah, you can't, because they like dogs. They like,
they know that shit.
Motherfucker. Like, as soon as you flinch, got your ass. You know
I swear.
So you just gotta be like, go up there and believe what you're saying.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and so that's the difference between jokey jokes and jokes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Jokey jokes is just you just saying shit.
And they're like, you going out there and like,
you tell a real something that's from your soul. I believe this.
Yeah. 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
can't tell me nothing.
Whether
different.
y'all like it or not, this is what I believe.
Yeah, and that's the good part.
Yeah.
So is there anything in your career thus far that you regret, like, or that you passed up or didn't take, or opportunity you might have had and was like, wow, I should have.
Nah, I don't regret anything. Everything I did was cool.
Oh, that's because I know some people like, man, I wish I would have done this. Like, I remember they asked Denzel was there in that part, and he was like, I passed up on a movie.
That's not true. I guess it's kind of a regret. I remember King Batch, because King Batch is from Florida.
Oh, I thought he's from Canada.
No, he's from Florida, and you know, he used to back in Miami when we was all still living there. I was doing comedy. And, you know, he used to look at me like, damn.
He was like a kid, right?
Yeah,
Young.
He was a kid. And he used to be like, man, you Malik. And I mean, when I came out here, I stayed with him, you know, like on his couch, because he had came out here.
He came out here first.
Yeah, he was on Vine.
Vine killing.
And he told me to get on Vine. And I used to clown him. Like, man, get out of that corny shit.
Yeah, that's how I felt about TikTok.
So had I got on Vine with King Badge,
you never know.
I don't know, dude. But I didn't. So, but I don't harp on it. But if I had to have a regret,
yeah,
I guess that would be one thing when he told me to get on Vine. But my arrogance and I'm the OG. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna tell me what to do?
Yeah.
I wasn't looking at like, no, this kid sees a vision that I don't see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's why like going forward, I never discredit anybody. You can learn anything from anybody.
Anybody fool.
You know what I'm saying? So that dude saw it. You know, he saw where it was going, and now he's one of the biggest.
I think he got like 25 million followers just on Instagram.
That dude is just super successful, super rich now.
Yeah.
But that was his thing, you know.
Yeah, I
didn't listen, so
I asked that question because for me it took a long time. So I started comedy in 2012, and I was 27, I think, something like that, maybe. I did it for like 2 years, but in Pittsburgh, there's not a lot of opportunities.
Right.
So I probably only got on stage, mic shows combined, like 15 times.
Right.
But in that, I had opened for Alex Thomas and damn, what is his name? He used to be on Ricky Smiley's morning show. He's from Atlanta.
Nephew Tommy?
No, not Nephew Tommy.
Special K.
Special K.
Yeah.
And I opened for him.
Special K is funny.
I was like in the game like 3 months and open for both them. And Special K was late to the show. I did like 30 minutes just. I only really had like 7.
Right, did improv.
And just was roasting people in the crowd and shit. I mean, crying. I'm like, oh shit. Right. So I had only got on stage like 15 times. Then I was like, this shit, fuck this. And I stopped for 5 years. Then in 2019, I just got booked to do a show with Ryan Davis and DC Young Fly, like on some whim. Right. And I did it. And I was like, oh, I got bit by the bug. And I was like, I'm giving myself a year to go to get to LA. Cause I remember seeing Aries Spears in 2012 asking for advice. He's like, if you serious about this, you got to go to New York or LA. And I was like, I ain't leaving Pittsburgh. Like, and even though his career ain't probably where I want my career to be, that was probably the best advice he could have gave me because in Pittsburgh, it was never going to happen. So when I came back, I was like, I'm getting older. I'm like, it's now or never. Right. And I gave myself a year. I ended up leaving in 5 months because I just couldn't take. I was waking up every day. I owned the trucking business and I was driving that truck like, this ain't what I want to do. Right. So I got this accelerated it, but my regret for the longest was like, I wish I'd have started right out of high school. Like just been, but then guess what? My path might not be this.
You never know.
It was a regret for a long time. Like I felt like I was behind, but with social media, you can close that gap of you see someone like you've been doing it 20, 21 years or whatever. You're like, man, it took me this long and I'm right here. You thinking like, if 20 years from now I'll be 50 something, but like, hell no, I can't be 59 and be just, you know what I mean? Getting on the road, but social media closes that. Yeah, man. You can be doing it 1 year and you know what I mean? So I had to learn, like, let that go. But I ask everybody that question because I know there's stuff that's like, but my path might not be the same.
Yeah, even with me with King Bass, that would be the only thing if I had to say I had a regret that I didn't jump on that thing with him at that time. Yeah. But it is what it is. We both doing our thing. He has his career path and you know, we still cool as hell. It's my boy, man. I'm proud of him. And I'm doing my thing. I mean, so it worked out.
You wake up every day and get to do what you love.
Yeah, man. That feeling. I don't have any complaints, man. This business don't owe me anything, bro. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm working. So that's all you can ask for. My bills are paid. My kids are good.
Yeah, that's dope.
Hey.
So let me ask you this. When it's all said and done and you look back at your career, what do you want to have accomplished? Do you be like, I want
to sell out arenas.
Arenas?
Yeah.
See, some people stop at theaters.
I'm going for it all. Why stop at theaters?
Yeah, fuck that.
Why? Because if I don't sell out arenas, then I'm automatically go to theaters. So why not go to arenas? You know what I mean? I want to sell out arenas. I want to do it all. I want to produce. I want to do movies. I want to act. I want to write. I want to do stand up. I want to do all of it, man.
If you had the choice and they said you could be doing arenas with comedy, or you could be movie star like The Rock, or you know what I mean? Which one you taking? For the rest of your career, you can only do one.
That's hard.
It's either tour the arenas or do the movies where you got the blockbusters coming out.
The one thing I would say, the movies is you're gonna have that residual money.
Yeah. But I mean, not even for the money, but just the
if it's not the money, I'm taking the arenas.
Okay.
I'm taking the live performance all day.
That's the best feeling.
Yeah, I'm taking that all day. You talk about an arena crowd just loud. I remember I opened up for Dave in Orlando. It was like 11, 12,000. I laughed. It was just
rocks your whole body.
And that was 11, 12. So I can only imagine what Kevin them and Naeem and Spank and Joey, what they be feeling when they were Kevin. Talk about 20,000 people, dude.
Crazy.
Just, you know what I mean? So yeah, give me that all day.
I can't imagine that show I told you I did with DC and Ryan. It was at a theater hold like 1,100 or something. Right. And I hadn't done a show in 5 years. I didn't even like practice. I wrote the material 3 days before because I forgot that I told dude I would do it.
Right.
And when I walked out to like a couple, like maybe like 30 minutes before the show started, you could see it was like, man, they ain't sell this shit out. Like, and it's gonna be a regular, like, you know, I might as well be at the Improv. And I guess in them 30 minutes,
they came in.
They came. So the host went out and he was funny. The last was okay. And I was like, all right, cool. And I had, you know, when you don't do it for a while, you forget there's a spotlight. I forgot about that. It's beaming right on my big ass head. I'm sweating and shit. I come out there like, I'm like,
yeah, man.
And it's just like so that was 1,100. Right. He's on 11,000.
11,000.
Bro, I can't even imagine that shit. 11, like I seen Chappelle and Rogan and MGM in Vegas. And when he came out, the seats was rumbling, the whole bleachers. I was like, yo, my shit about to fall. So I think that was like 17,000.
Yeah, man.
So I can't imagine that. That's the best feeling in the world, dog.
You can't beat that. You can't beat that. That's the goal.
So before we get out of here, I want to just give you your flowers. You're dope writer.
Appreciate
funny on stage that's what I most like is just watching you on stage. Like when we go to these clubs, some people I sit in the back with comics is talking. I'm, oh, Malik going up. I'm going to the top. And I'm just, because I'm a student of the game. I can learn, you know, from some people. I was like, I'm not watching that motherfucker. You know what I mean? And then some people, I'm like, y'all want to see what he's doing. And the fact that it's like, I used to watch you on Instagram on a Laugh Factory page, and then now it's like, oh, I got him on my podcast. It's just like, you know, you might not think it's nothing, but for me, it's big. So I'm like, I'm meeting all the people that I looked up to before I got out here. Because to me, Hollywood was huge, and now it's like, with Naeem here, I'm with Malik. Like it's people like, yo, I'm like, yeah, I did a movie with Will Ferrell. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, I was doing background work, but I met him. We talked on the set for an hour. I'm making him laugh. I'm not turning it off. I'm trying to like get lines in the movie. I'm cranking it on. So I'm meeting all these people. It's like, damn. So getting to meet you, hey, you on a podcast is dope as hell. For at least for me,
man, appreciate it.
Good. So
you putting in the work, dude.
I'm trying to.
When you put in the work, people notice, man.
They look. The one of my biggest things was, I woke up one day, I had like 30 text messages from back home. I'm thinking, oh, somebody got popped. Like, and it was all like the same group. Like, it wasn't just random people from back home. It was like my group of friends. I'm like, fuck, I ain't want to open it. The first message is a video. I click on it. It's Spank and Joey and Harry on the serious, like, shouting me out. Like, yeah, that dude Mike Murphy funny as hell, blah, blah. Dope. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, I'm running it back. Like, and it wasn't like I paid him to do it. I didn't even know I look, I'm like, oh, these dudes are all following me. Like, I didn't even know that. I mean, I knew Joey because I talked to him a lot, but Harry and them, I didn't know I was even on the radar. They're like, no, they're like, yeah, cool as fuck. Spank, like, yeah, he funny as hell. People like, yo, Spank shouting you out. And I'm like, yo, bro, shit crazy. I DM'd him like, appreciate it. Like, nah, man, you keep going. You funny. That's like, so it's happening. I'm like, I like that kind of shit. So man. Them things, you know, they keep you motivated.
Because you want to be appreciated by your peers, man.
I appreciate that more than. If I get off stage and I kill, but then I get off and you like, yo, you killed that shit. Oh, that's way better. I don't care what the fuck they laughed at. Exactly. Because sometimes they'll laugh at anything, you know what I mean? But when they come off and the people you respect you, that's way better.
That's always been my thing. Like, oh, for real? Okay.
Yeah. You know, you so, like, so, like you said, DL said, like, who this? You want to go on the road? That's more rewarding. And I don't care what nobody say. That from the people you respect is the ultimate.
That's when you know you're doing your thing, man.
Like, you might not sell the most tickets, you might not, but when the people you respect be like, that dude right there, I don't want to follow him. Or following him ain't gonna be no walk in the park. I'm not to really bring this shit. You like shit.
And some people want that though. Some people want heat in front of them.
Oh yeah, and some people don't.
Like Ced want heat in front of him. DL want heat in front of him.
Some people be like, nah, just keep doing them jokes you've been doing for 20 years.
Yeah. They'll tell me straight up the reason why I got you with me because you make me work.
That's good shit.
So, you know, I respect that, man. But yeah, you know, Spank and Joey, Naeem, Harry, Kevin, all them dudes are good dudes, man.
Yeah,
real good dudes.
I met Kevin a couple times, solid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never met Harry in person. I mean, I've seen him, but
Harry,
never talked to him. Joey, I always talk to Joey. I mean, I reach him out anytime he answers.
Yeah.
I see Naeem all the time. I see Spank here and there, but the fact that, you know, I never had a, who the fuck is this? They never been on their asshole shit.
Blowing up in Pittsburgh. They heard.
Oh, listen, bro. I went home, and this is where I went home for my people's 70th birthday party, right? But I told her I couldn't make it, and she's like a mother to me. So she's like, damn, my only son, the only one that can't make it is one of my kids. Like, she was kind of down. I knew I was coming the whole time. I wanted to surprise her, so I'm gonna get there a little bit late. I don't want to walk in when she's walking in.
Right.
So I park. I'm like, okay. I see this doing like some speech, and it's like in the ball, like the conference room of a hotel. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna just sneak in or whatever. But I didn't realize as soon as I walked in, she could see me. So she was like, oh, and everybody kind of looked, and some dude just comes out with his phone, like, yo, we got to get a picture, bro. You funny as hell. I'm like, yo, bro, back the fuck up, man. Like, they giving a heartfelt speech from my mom on her, and dude with his camera out, like, yo, we got to get a picture. I'm like, yo, chill out. Everybody looking at me like, who is this? Most of the people know me, but the other people like, who the fuck is this? She's getting excited. This dude.
That's always interesting.
I'm like, what the fuck? And I didn't like it because, I mean, it felt good, but I didn't like it because it was taken off of her.
Right.
And I'm like, yo, you got to chill, bro. I'm like, we'll get a flick, bro. Like, I'm like, all right, I'll take it, but you ain't got to. Bro, I'm like Kevin Hart, bro. Like, you ain't gonna miss the opportunity. Like, oh, it's once in a lifetime. But I'm from here. Like, you can see me more times.
I'm accessible, dog.
Yeah, I'm like, we'll do it. You know what I mean? I was like, all right. But then I was in Seattle 2 weeks ago. I was flying home, running late to my gate. Some dude was like, oh, you look like the Butters nigga. And I was like, I turned, he was like, oh, bro, we gotta get a picture. I'm like, oh, he's like, yo, can we please get one? I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, I'm not at my stage of my career where I'm like, no pictures right now. Pictures. No, take this shit and tag me. I need all this shit. Yeah, let's get it. Let's take another one. So that feeling, bro, is like, oh shit, it's really starting to happen. But I've been seeing this before anybody else. And I think that's important.
dude.
It's you seeing it when nobody else sees it.
You gotta believe it.
If you don't, it ain't happening.
It ain't happening. You gotta trick the universe.
You got to. People like, you sold your house. I was living nice back home. Right. Trucking company, everything doing well, motorcycles, all that. I'm the man. Yeah. And it's where you can survive good off $40,000. Exactly. I'm living great. And I'm like, nah, none of this is what make me happy because I can't be on stage. Right. And I took that risk. And now people's like, bro, I seen it coming. So yeah, man, I'm grateful to have you, man. I'm grateful to be in this space with
Appreciate
you.
It, brother.
Tell everybody where they can find you at on.
You can find me in Malik S Comedy, MALIKS Comedy on everything. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, J-Date, Farmers Only, Christian Mango. I'm on everything, man. I'm on Grindr. I don't give a damn, Fuck man. Fans are fans. I don't give a damn. I'm just trying to promote myself, brother.
Yeah, you got to. So I know you got Nate Jackson's joint.
Yeah, I'm doing Nate Jackson
April 1st.
Super Funny Comedy Club, March 31st through April's 3rd.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I'll be up there. My man Sean Larkins, we both doing it. We co-headlining.
I just seen you. You was just in Atlanta, right?
I was just in Atlanta, but I was in New York. I did this show at upstate New York at this club, small club. So I just did that. Just out here, man. You know what I'm saying?
You got any other dates you want to plug?
Not right now. Push? Oh, I'm doing well, I don't know when this airing. So but,
like a week.
Yeah, but so I'll be around town in LA, you know, catch me at the Laugh Factory, the Improv.
My man.
You know what I'm saying? But so man.
I appreciate you having me, brother. Malik S, man. You, y'all. This is episode 4, man. We'll see y'all next week. Hey, I appreciate it, bro.
Yes, sir, man.